World War II was a global conflict that lasted from 1939 to 1945. It involved the majority of the world's nations, including all of the great powers, organized into two opposing military alliances, the Allies and the Axis. The war was the most widespread and deadliest conflict in human history, with over 70 million fatalities. How did World War II start? In the early morning of September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland, prompting France and Britain to declare war on Germany. This marked the beginning of the war in Europe, which soon spread to other parts of the world. The war was fought on many fronts, including Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Pacific. The Allies, led by the United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union, fought against the Axis powers, led by Germany, Italy, and Japan. The war had a profound impact on the world, and its consequences continue to be felt today. It led to the deaths of millions of people and caused widespread destruction and devastation. It also brought about significant social and political changes, including the emergence of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers, the decline of European imperialism, and the creation of the United Nations. One of the most significant events of the war was the Holocaust, in which 6 million Jews were systematically murdered by the Nazi regime. The Holocaust is a tragic reminder of the dangers of prejudice, racism, and intolerance. In the end, the Allies emerged victorious, but at a great cost. The war left much of Europe and Asia in ruins, and the world was forever changed by its impact. The war also led to the development of new technologies, including the atomic bomb, which would have a significant impact on the world in the years to come. Overall, World War II was a complex and devastating event in human history, but one that we can learn from. It teaches us about the importance of international cooperation, the dangers of fascism and totalitarianism, and the need to work together to build a better future for all. The war had a significant impact on civilians, as well. Many people were forced to flee their homes, and countless lives were upended. In Europe, entire cities were destroyed, and the civilian population was targeted by bombing raids. The war also led to a massive displacement of people, with millions of refugees and migrants seeking safety and security. As the war progressed, new technologies were developed and deployed on the battlefield. These included advanced aircraft, tanks, and submarines, as well as the aforementioned atomic bomb. The war also saw the use of new tactics, such as blitzkrieg warfare and island hopping. One of the most iconic moments of the war was the D-Day landings on June 6, 1944. Allied troops landed on the beaches of Normandy, France, in what was the largest amphibious invasion in history. The operation was a significant turning point in the war and helped pave the way for the eventual defeat of the Axis powers. The war also had a significant impact on the home front. In the United States, for example, the war led to significant social and economic changes, including the expansion of the military and the introduction of rationing and other forms of government control. Women and minorities also played a more significant role in the workforce, and the war helped to pave the way for greater social and political equality in the years that followed. Despite the enormous loss of life and the devastation wrought by the war, there were also moments of heroism and courage. From the soldiers who fought on the front lines to the civilians who supported the war effort at home, countless people demonstrated incredible bravery and resilience in the face of adversity. Today, the legacy of World War II continues to be felt around the world. The war helped to shape the modern geopolitical landscape and has had a lasting impact on politics, society, and culture. By remembering the lessons of the past, we can work towards a better future for all. One of the key lessons of World War II is the importance of international cooperation and the need to prevent conflicts from escalating into global wars. The creation of the United Nations after the war was a crucial step in this direction, and the organization continues to work towards peace and security around the world. The war also highlighted the dangers of fascism and totalitarianism, and the importance of protecting human rights and individual freedoms. The atrocities committed during the war, including the Holocaust, serve as a reminder of the consequences of unchecked authoritarianism and the importance of standing up to oppression and injustice. In addition, the war had a significant impact on technological innovation and scientific research. The development of the atomic bomb, for example, paved the way for advances in nuclear energy and space exploration. The war also led to advances in medicine and public health. as scientists worked to develop new treatments and vaccines for soldiers and civilians alike. Finally, the war had a lasting impact on popular culture, with countless books, movies, and other works of art inspired by the events of the war. From classic films like Casablanca and The Great Escape to best-selling novels like All Quiet on the Western Front and Slaughterhouse-Five, the war has been a rich source of inspiration for artists and writers for generations. In conclusion, World War II was a monumental event in human history, one that shaped the world we live in today. It was a conflict that involved countless nations and millions of people, and its impact continues to be felt around the world. By learning from the lessons of the past and working towards a more peaceful and just future, we can honor the sacrifices made by those who fought and died in the war, and ensure that their legacy lives on for generations to come. As we look back on the events of World War II, it's important to remember that it was not just a military conflict, but a human tragedy on an unimaginable scale. The war brought about immense suffering and loss of life, with millions of soldiers and civilians losing their lives. It's also important to remember that the war was not just fought on the battlefield but had far-reaching effects on the lives of people around the world. At the same time, the war also brought out the best in people, as individuals and nations came together to fight for a common cause. The bravery and resilience of those who fought and worked to support the war effort is a testament to the human spirit and a reminder of what we are capable of achieving when we come together. Today, as we face new challenges and threats to our security and well-being, we can look to the lessons of World War II for inspiration and guidance. We can draw strength from the example set by those who came before us, and work together to build a more peaceful and just world. So let us remember the sacrifices made by those who fought and died in World War II, and let us honor their memory by striving to create a world that is more peaceful, more just, and more compassionate. Let us never forget the lessons of the past, and let us work towards a brighter future for all. In the end, World War II was a defining moment in human history, one that shaped the course of the 20th century and beyond. It was a conflict that tested the limits of human endurance and challenged our notions of what is possible. But amidst the devastation and tragedy, there were also moments of hope and resilience. The war brought people together, and it showed us what we can achieve when we work towards a common goal. As we reflect on the events of World War II, let us remember the sacrifices made by those who fought and died in the war. Let us also remember the lessons that we have learned, and the progress that we have made towards a more peaceful and just world. Ultimately, it is up to all of us to continue to work towards a future that is more hopeful and more just. It is up to us to ensure that the sacrifices made by those who fought and died in World War II were not in vain. And it is up to us to build a world that is worthy of the legacy of those who came before us. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of World War II. We hope that this overview has helped to shed some light on this monumental event and its lasting impact on the world. Thank you for watching this long video today, and I hope this video will help you.